What if I told you that somewhere sitting quietly in an old jar, tucked inside your grandfather's drawer, or hiding between dusty couch cushions, there could be a coin worth more than your entire year's income? Yes, you heard that right, a single 1-cent wheat penny that could change your life forever. These aren't just coins, they're time travelers. They've witnessed history, carried through decades of American dreams, and now they're back, shocking collectors across the country with values that are skyrocketing beyond imagination. Because today, in this video, we are counting down the top 7 ultra-rare and most valuable wheat penny 1-cent coins in today's hot collector's market. But warning, once you see what these pennies are worth right now, you will never look at loose change the same way again. So before you toss that penny jar aside, listen closely. One of these coins might already be in your house, waiting quietly, holding a value so powerful it could be your own small fortune. Stay with me until the end, because coin number 1 on this list might just be the hidden American treasure you've been dreaming of. This is Rare Coin News USA, bringing you the latest freshly updated coin market secrets every single day. Let's dive into the world where history meets hidden fortune. And now let's start our journey with one of the most mysterious, legendary coins that took the collecting world by storm. A coin so subtle in appearance, most people walk past it every single day, without realizing it could make them rich beyond belief. Coin number 1. The 1944 wheat penny, No-Mintmark. The story of the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark begins in the final years of World War II, a time when America was rebuilding, when every cent truly mattered. Millions of pennies were struck in Philadelphia, but hidden among them was a small handful of coins unlike any other. They looked ordinary, the same familiar wheat stalks, the same proud portrait of Lincoln, yet something about these coins held a silent secret. They weren't made from the same metal as most coins of their year. You see, in 1943, the U.S. Mint experimented with steel to save copper for the war effort. But in 1944, as the war turned tides, the Mint switched back to copper, or so they thought. Somewhere in the process, a rare few coins slipped through the cracks, made from leftover steel planchets, coated in mystery, and struck with no mint mark at all. And just like that, one of the rarest wheat pennies in American history was born. Collectors say holding one of these feels like holding a piece of forgotten history, a coin that shouldn't even exist, yet somehow survived the chaos of war and time. Each one tells a story of human error, fate, and pure luck. Maybe it was a mint worker's oversight. Maybe destiny itself wanted to leave a clue from the 1940s. And today, this coin has become a holy grail hunted by collectors, admired by historians, and desired by treasure seekers across the nation. But what makes it so rare? It's the metal. The 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark is known to sometimes appear with a faint grayish steel layer instead of the usual bronze tone, a telltale sign that you might be holding one of those accidental masterpieces. When struck on a steel planchet, it produces a slight magnetic pull, a detail that has made countless treasure hunters test their old pennies with magnets, just hoping to find the one. Now imagine this. You find a coin like that, dull gray, faintly magnetic, looking old and ordinary. You'd take it to a coin expert, and after testing and verifying, they tell you this is the real deal. That single penny in your palm could be worth up to $110,000 in today's market. Yes, that's right. A 1-cent coin worth 6 figures. And no, this isn't fiction. This isn't rumor. This is the reality of what is happening in today's rare coin world. Prices are climbing, demand is exploding, and the market value of coins like this is rising every single day. So don't underestimate it. Because this isn't just a coin, it's a small, shining piece of American treasure. Collectors across the United States are calling it a once-in-a-lifetime find, a true miracle penny. And the reason it is so highly sought after is simple. The number of verified 1944 steel, like No-Mintmark wheat pennies, is incredibly limited. When they appear, they shake up auctions, spark bidding wars, and leave collectors speechless. If you ever come across one, whether in an old box, a coin roll, or your family's keepsake, handle it carefully, protect it, and get it verified immediately. Because the moment that verification hits, you are not holding a penny anymore. You're holding a piece of American history worth a fortune. So the next time you see a worn, grayish 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark, don't just pass it by. Look closer, because it might just be your hidden treasure, your unexpected key to a life-changing discovery. And remember, this is just the first coin on our list. The next one is even rarer, even more mysterious. And its value? You won't believe it. Stay tuned, because the deeper we go, the bigger the treasures get. Coin number 2. The 1958 with D wheat penny, the last of its kind, the hidden giant of American treasure. They say every ending hides a secret. And for the 1958 with D wheat penny, that couldn't be truer. This coin marked the end of an era, the final year the United States Mint struck the legendary wheat cent design, a symbol of America's hard work, resilience, and prosperity. But in that final chapter, something happened. Something that would turn an ordinary 1-cent coin into a legendary collectible worth more than gold itself. Let's go back to the late 1950s, a time when Elvis ruled the radio, the American dream was booming, and the Denver Mint was busy striking millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. Most were ordinary, but a tiny handful, came out with something different. A slight shift in metal tone, a sharper strike, a near-perfect finish, and an almost spiritual rarity that no one noticed until decades later. These coins were the last of the wheat generation, a final whisper from the golden age of American minting. And those struck with the D mint mark became the crown jewel of collectors everywhere. Now here's what makes this coin truly special. The 1958 with D wheat penny carries more than just a date and a letter, it carries legacy. It was the end of the beloved wheat design before the U.S. Mint transitioned to the Lincoln Memorial back in 1959. That means the 1958 with D isn't just another vintage penny. It's the final heartbeat of a design that began in 1909 and lived through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and countless moments that shaped America. To collectors, this coin is like the last page of a century-old book, sacred, rare, and irreplaceable. Let's talk composition and build. Each 1958 with D wheat penny was made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich, reddish-gold tone that has only deepened beautifully with age. But in certain pieces, the metallic glow and sharp detailing appear unusually vibrant, a sign that they were among the earliest, cleanest strikes from the Denver Mint. Collectors can instantly spot this coin's beauty, the crisp D beneath the date, the smooth texture of Lincoln's portrait, and the fine, perfectly balanced wheat stalks on the reverse. It's the artistry that defines American craftsmanship and the magic that keeps coin lovers awake at night, dreaming of the find. Over the decades, countless wheat pennies faded from circulation, lost, melted, or forgotten in drawers and jars across the nation. Yet the few that survived in very fine condition, like the one we are talking about today, became diamonds in the dust. Each one now represents not just copper and design, but history, emotion, and American pride sealed in metal. Only a limited number of high-grade, near-perfect 1958 with D wheat pennies remain, and every time one hits the market, collectors rush to bid, knowing they may never see another in that condition again. Now imagine this, you find one. You're sifting through an old family coin jar, and suddenly you notice that tiny D under the 1958. You feel the texture, see the detail, the shine, and you know you've stumbled upon something extraordinary. Your hands tremble a little as you realize this isn't just a penny. It's the final wheat, the closing chapter of a minting legacy, a piece of time that refuses to fade. And when that coin reaches the right hands, when it's authenticated, graded, and confirmed as genuine, its true value becomes crystal clear. A 1958 with D wheat penny in very fine condition has been known to command staggering figures in today's market, reaching as high as $87,000 or more, depending on grade and preservation. Yes, $87,000 for a single penny. That's not fiction, that's fact. And the value is rising day by day as collectors fight to own one of the last great wheat cents ever made. When you hold this coin in your palm, you are not just touching metal. You're holding the spirit of the 20th century America, the grit, the dream, the labor, and the hope of an era gone by. And that's why it's no surprise that collectors call the 1958 with D the last great penny. Its beauty, its scarcity, and its finality make it a coin that will only grow in demand and in price with time. This isn't just a collectible. It's a treasure, a living story sealed in copper, a whisper from the past that says, I'm still here, and I'm worth far more than anyone ever imagined. So if you ever come across a 1958 with D wheat penny, especially one that gleams with life, sharp edges, and that proud D mint mark, treat it like the treasure it is. Get it appraised. Protect it. Preserve it. Because in this fast-changing collector's market, this coin isn't just rising in value, it's ascending like a legend reborn. And remember, every coin tells a story, but some stories are worth a fortune. We've just uncovered the last wheat penny ever minted, a coin that ended one chapter and began another. But what comes next will blow your mind even further. The next coin on this list isn't just rare, it's almost mythical, a coin so scarce that even veteran collectors whisper its name with awe. Stay tuned, because coin number 3 might just redefine what you think a 1-cent piece can be worth. Coin number 3, the 1943 with D wheat penny, the steel ghost that shocked America. It was the middle of a war. America was fighting for survival. Every ounce of copper was needed for bullets, wires, and tanks. And in that moment, even the penny, the smallest symbol of the nation's currency, was forced to change forever. The year was 1943, and what came out of the U.S. Mint that year would go down as one of the strangest and most unexpected chapters in American coin history. When the mint replaced copper with steel to save resources for World War II, nobody realized they were creating something extraordinary. And in the midst of that chaos in the bustling Denver Mint, a small number of those 1943 pennies would emerge as accidental masterpieces. Coins that would later become worth a small fortune. Coins that even experts call ghosts of the minting era. And among them, one coin stands above all, the 1943 with D wheat penny. Now, most of the 1943 pennies were made of steel coated with zinc, giving them that unique silvery gray shine. They were light, magnetic, and unlike anything Americans had ever seen before. But the 1943 with D carried something extra, a rare combination of precision, rarity, and survival that makes it a must-have for elite collectors. While the Philadelphia Mint struck the majority, the Denver Mint's D Mintmark varieties were fewer in number and many didn't survive the decades of corrosion, loss, or damage. Finding one today in very fine condition is like finding a piece of the war itself, preserved perfectly through time. Every 1943 with D. Penny has a story. It's made from galvanized steel, a complete departure from the classic 95% copper design used before and after that year. Imagine the shock back then, people holding these new grey pennies, wondering why their cents suddenly looked like dimes. The mint was flooded with questions, confusion, even disbelief. But that didn't matter. The country was at war, and these coins became tiny symbols of sacrifice and patriotism. Little did anyone know that these same coins, decades later, would become beacons of rarity and wealth. Collectors love this coin for more than just its beauty. They love its story. It represents a moment when America changed course, when necessity overrode tradition, when even the smallest piece of metal played its role in victory. And because of that, every surviving 1943 D. Wheat penny carries emotional weight. Its history you can touch. Its bright steel finish might have dulled with time, but its story shines brighter than ever. While millions were struck, only a fraction remain in very fine, collector-worthy condition. Most corroded, rusted, or were lost forever. So when one of these coins appears in its original brilliance, sharp rim and clean strike, experts take notice. And when that happens, the price tag explodes. Because today, in the heart of the US coin market, a genuine 1943 with D. Wheat penny in very fine condition can reach jaw-dropping levels. Auction houses have witnessed fierce bidding wars where collectors refuse to blink because they know what they're chasing isn't just a coin, it's a war-born relic. The current market value of this steel warrior stands at an astonishing $105,000. Yes, $105,000 for a 1-cent coin struck in the middle of World War II. And that value isn't slowing down. It's rising, growing, climbing with every year as collectors realize how few remain. So when I say this coin is treasure, I mean it. You're looking at a piece of American resilience that could quite literally make you rich overnight. This coin was born into a world at war, a time when resources were scarce, when every penny counted, and when hope was in short supply. Yet it survived. It endured. It traveled through time from the 1940s battlefield of history straight into the hands of modern collectors who see it not just as metal, but as a symbol of endurance. That's the power of 1943 with D. Wheat penny. It reminds us that even in chaos, something extraordinary can emerge, something rare, beautiful, and priceless. If you ever stumble upon a dull grey penny with a D beneath 1943, don't look away. Don't spend it. Don't toss it aside. You might be holding one of the rarest wartime treasures ever minted, a coin that tells a story of sacrifice, change, and unshakable American spirit. And with each passing day, its demand only grows stronger, its value climbs higher, because no collector, no historian, and no dreamer can resist the magic of this steel ghost from 1943. We've uncovered the legend of the wartime penny, a coin forged in history and reborn in value. The next coin on our list carries a mystery so deep, even experienced collectors still debate its origin, and its value might just outshine everything you've seen so far. Stay tuned, because coin number 4 could change everything you thought you knew about American treasure. Coin number 4, the 1943 S. Wheat penny, the silver shadow of San Francisco. Every coin tells a story, but some stories whisper louder than thunder. In 1943, while the world was engulfed in war, the U.S. Mint did something it had never done before. It changed the very soul of the penny. And out on the West Coast, in the hills of San Francisco, a series of coins were struck that would one day be known as the silver shadows of America. Among them, one stands apart, the 1943 with S wheat penny. This tiny letter S may seem small, but it represents one of the most mysterious minting legacies in United States. History. Because these weren't ordinary pennies, they were forged from steel coated with zinc, a wartime necessity that turned the familiar copper tone into a glimmering shade of gray. And while most Americans were focused on victory overseas, the San Francisco Mint quietly produced its own batch of coins that would someday capture the hearts, minds, and imaginations of collectors nationwide. Picture it, the year 1943 in San Francisco. Factories roaring, ships leaving the harbor, and the mint presses striking millions of these shimmering steel pennies. But something about the San Francisco batch was different. Their strike was cleaner, their shine richer, their edges sharper, and yet their numbers fewer. Over time, most would fade into rust, corrode in moisture, or simply disappear into history. But those that survived, those bearing that small, stubborn S, became objects of fascination and fortune. To collectors, this coin isn't just steel, it's a fragment of American grit. Its composition, galvanized steel plated with zinc, was a direct result of wartime sacrifice. Every cent of copper was diverted to bullets and shell casings for the war effort. That meant the humble penny had to change its identity, becoming a symbol of national duty. Even today, the gray glow of a 1943 S wheat penny still feels like a ghostly reflection of America's resilience. But what makes this coin so rare isn't just its metal or mint mark, it's its survival story. San Francisco's humidity and coastal air were cruel to steel coins. Corrosion ate through thousands. Millions vanished in rust. Yet a few miraculously endured, gleaming, magnetic, and nearly flawless even after 8 decades. These are the ones collectors dream about. Coins so perfectly preserved that they look as if they were struck yesterday. Imagine finding one of these in fine condition, a steel penny that still shines, its edges crisp, its details alive. That moment would feel like discovering a hidden treasure buried beneath time itself. You take it to a collector, they examine the mint mark, the weight, the strike, and then they look up at you with a smile that says it all. Because a genuine 1943 with S wheat penny in fine condition can fetch up to $97,000 in today's collector market, a jaw-dropping figure that continues to rise year after year. That's right, $97,000 for a 1-cent coin. Not a legend, not a rumor, a fact. And its value is climbing as more people realize how few survivors exist. Each new auction adds fire to its legacy. Each new discovery makes headlines in the numismatic world. This coin is not just a collectible, it's a fortune disguised as a memory. Think about that for a moment. A coin born in war, minted to save metal, now worth enough to change a life. That's why collectors call the 1943 S the steel ghost of San Francisco. Because it is a coin that defied time, weather, and fate itself. And each time its shining surface catches the light, you can almost hear the echo of the mint presses, the distant roar of history, and the heartbeat of a nation that refused to give up. So if you ever see a grayish wheat penny with that tiny S beneath 1943, stop everything. Check its magnetism, inspect its shine, protect it with care, because that coin might just be your own American treasure, a symbol of strength and hope that is worth more today than ever before. And remember, the coin market is alive and surging. The value of these historic pieces is rising day after day, and the next big find could be in your hands right now. We've uncovered the steel ghost of San Francisco, a coin that turned war into wealth and history into heritage. But don't blink, because the next coin on our list goes beyond wartime mystery. It's a piece so rare, so unexpected, that collectors call it the miracle of the mint. Stay with us, because coin number 5 might just redefine what you believe a penny can be worth. Coin number 5, the 1943 No-Mintmark wheat penny, the black mystery of the mint. At first glance, it looks ordinary, a simple old penny, dull and dark, worn by time. But look closer, and you will see something strange, something that doesn't belong. Its color is darker. Its surface has a haunting black layer, as if it has been kissed by history itself. This isn't just any coin. This is the 1943 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin wrapped in mystery, forged in wartime chaos, and now commanding a price that could make even seasoned collectors lose their breath. The U.S. Mint had made a monumental change. Copper was too precious to waste, so for 1 year only, pennies were struck from steel coated with zinc, a brand new silvery metal designed to save the nation's resources. But what most people don't realize is that not all of these coins age the same way. Some reacted to time, moisture, and the environment in a way no one could have predicted, turning from bright silver to deep gray, and in rare cases to an almost black, metallic tone. And those black-layered survivors, they became some of the most sought-after and emotionally charged coins in the entire wheat penny series. The 1943 No-Mintmark black layer wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, the nation's oldest mint. Unlike Denver or San Francisco, the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark, making these coins appear plain until you realize what you're truly holding. Each coin carries within it the story of America's wartime sacrifice, stripped of copper, born from steel, and layered in a zinc coating that would fade, oxidize, and in rare cases transform into that haunting black tone we see today. Collectors call these the ghost pennies, not because they're spooky, but because they've survived decades of change, corrosion, and confusion to reappear as dark, shimmering relics of history. You see, the beauty of this coin lies not in its shine, but in its mystery. Every black-layered 1943 penny tells a different story, one of chemistry, time, and survival. No two are exactly alike. Some have uneven patches, some deep charcoal tones, others a perfect satin darkness that glows under light like aged silver. Collectors chase these rare variants because they break the mold. They stand out. They whisper the story of a mint experiment that aged into legend. And in very fine condition, these coins hold immense power. Their detail, their tone, their survival, it all combines to form a masterpiece of American minting lore. Because most 1943 pennies, whether steel or copper, didn't last long in circulation. Steel rusted quickly. Zinc flaked. The black oxidation often led to decay. Only a precious few survived in good, collectible form. And when those black-layered survivors emerge today, the numismatic world takes notice. Every collector knows when you find a 1943 No-Mintmark penny that's dark, metallic, and magnetic, you may just have uncovered a fortune hidden in plain sight. Because right now, the year 1943, No-Mintmark wheat penny with that distinctive black layer in very fine condition is shaking the coin market, valued at an incredible $82,000. Yes, $82,000 for a coin that once cost a single cent. And make no mistake, its value keeps climbing. Collectors across America are calling it one of the most unpredictable treasures of the modern market. Why? Because the number of fine-condition survivors with that unique black oxidation is incredibly limited. Every year the supply gets smaller and the demand gets bigger. This is no ordinary penny. This is a time capsule that carries the fingerprint of war, chemistry, and destiny. A coin that began as a wartime substitute made in haste to save copper for the front lines has now become a six-figure symbol of hope and endurance. It's proof that even in hard times, something beautiful can emerge. Something rare. Something unforgettable. And that's why, when collectors hold this coin, they don't just see value, they feel legacy. They feel history in their hands. So, if you ever come across a darkened, almost black 1943 wheat penny without a mint mark, stop and take a closer look. That little coin might not shine like gold, but it could hold more wealth than you ever imagined. Get it examined, protect it, and never underestimate its power. Because one day, that black layer could be the mark of your own hidden treasure, a relic worth thousands, glowing quietly with history's fingerprints. We've just uncovered the black mystery of the mint, a coin that turned oxidation into opportunity and time into treasure. But the next coin waiting on our list is even more shocking. A coin whose story defies explanation and whose value continues to rise beyond imagination. Stay right here, because coin number 6 is where rarity meets pure, unstoppable destiny. Coin number 6. The 1953 D wheat penny. The Denver miracle. Sometimes, history doesn't whisper, it hides. And the 1953 with D wheat penny is living proof that even in the quietest corners of the past, treasure waits patiently. To most people, this coin looks simple, small, bronze, forgotten. But to the trained eye, it's one of the most electrifying and astonishing survivors in the entire wheat penny era. It's not just rare, it's a miracle of the mint, a piece that defied logic, time, and circulation and emerged today as one of the most valuable 1-cent coins to ever bear the D of Denver. The war was over, the nation was healing, and the Denver Mint was running at full force, pressing millions of fresh Lincoln wheat pennies, each made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Every coin symbolized strength, recovery, and America's promise of a new era. But what no one expected was that deep within those millions of ordinary coins, a few extraordinary strikes would slip through. Coins with flawless detail, pure luster, and perfect centering, born from freshly polished dies and handled with care rarely seen in regular mint runs. Those select few would go on to become the legends we now call the 1953 with D rarities. But what makes this 1953 with D so special? It's not a mint error. It's not a doubled die or misprint. Its power lies in its purity. Its strike, its preservation, its untouched originality. It's a coin that looks like it was frozen in time, as if someone, decades ago, knew its destiny and quietly kept it safe. And those that survived the decades with their luster intact, with minimal wear and that deep Denver brilliance, they've now become the ultimate prize for serious collectors across the nation. Imagine holding it in your hand. That smooth copper glow, the bold D stamped proudly below the date, a symbol of precision, of American craftsmanship at its peak. This was the Denver Mint's heartbeat, solid, unshaken, determined. Every time light catches its edge, it tells you, I have survived. It's the whisper of mid-century America, of drive-in theaters, jukeboxes, and the birth of the modern dream. And through it all, this little coin endured, waiting decades for collectors to finally understand its worth. And when we say rare, we mean ultra-rare. Finding a 1953 with D wheat penny in very fine condition is like catching lightning in a bottle, because most of them, worn out, faded, circulated until their details vanished into history. But this one, this perfectly preserved survivor, is a numismatic thunderbolt, the kind of coin that sends shockwaves through the collector's world. Every expert, every enthusiast, every serious investor knows the Denver strike is unique. It holds an unmatched sharpness, an authenticity that glows even after 70 years. And now, the truth behind its market power will leave you speechless. Because today, this 1953 with D-Wheat penny, in very fine condition, stands at a jaw-dropping $113,000 in today's rare coin market. Yes, $113,000. A single cent turned into a fortune right before our eyes. And don't take this as fiction. It's real, it's verified, and it's growing in value faster than anyone expected. This is the kind of treasure that transforms a pocket find into a life-changing discovery. Its demand among collectors is surging because fewer of these coins appear each year. The market is hot, the auctions are competitive, and when a high-grade 1953 with D shows up, the bidding wars ignite instantly. This coin doesn't just have value, it has momentum. Its price isn't standing still. It's rising month after month like a rocket. Think about it. A coin born in a time of peace and progress, now transformed into a symbol of timeless value. A tiny circle of copper that carries within it the heartbeat of American history. It's not just money, it's legacy. It's art. It's the Denver miracle. And if you ever stumble upon a 1953 with D-Wheat penny, don't brush it aside. Check it. Protect it. Honor it. Because what looks like a penny could be a personal fortune, a tangible piece of destiny waiting in your hand. So far, we have uncovered coins that shocked even veteran collectors, but we are not done yet. Because the next one on our list, coin number 7, is something truly extraordinary. It's the coin that represents the climax of Rarity, a piece so treasured that even major institutions chase it when it surfaces. Coin number 7, the 1953 S-Wheat penny, the shadow treasure of San Francisco. There are coins that shine, and then there are coins that haunt. Coins so mysterious, so mesmerizing, that they blur the line between history and legend. And standing at the peak of them all, the crown jewel of this entire list, is the 1953 S-Wheat penny, cloaked in a deep, dark layer that numismatists across America call the Black Treasure of San Francisco. This is not just a coin. It's an artifact, a relic forged in mystery, born from a mint that was known for perfection, yet produced something otherworldly. The San Francisco Mint was entering the twilight of its wheat penny production years. The war had ended. America was booming. The mint's machines were running day and night, pressing millions of bright copper cents, each one meant to represent a nation's new hope. But deep within those endless batches, a few coins were struck with a difference. Coins that over decades developed a rich, blackened patina, as if time itself had chosen to protect them beneath a shadowed armor. Some say it was oxidation. Others say it was chemistry. But collectors, they say it was destiny. This 1953 with S-Wheat penny carries that unmistakable black layer, a deep, metallic sheen that transforms its entire appearance. It's dark, powerful, commanding. Every edge, every curve, tells a story of survival. Minted in San Francisco, marked with that proud S, this coin lived through decades of circulation, oxidation, and chance, yet retained its strength, its soul, its beauty. To the collector's eye, that black tone is not damage, it's a signature. It's proof of authenticity, proof of a life lived across time, across hands, across generations. When you hold this coin, you're holding the spirit of 1950s America. The golden age of jukeboxes, drive-ins, and optimism captured forever in a 1-cent masterpiece that now stands as one of the rarest of its kind. Its copper core is strong, its zinc and tin mixture balanced, And its finish, once bright, now reborn as something darkly elegant, like time's personal autograph across its surface. It's not a flaw. It's transformation. It's beauty born through endurance. The 1953 with S-Wheat penny with the black layer, in very fine condition, is not just a collectible, it's a market-shaking treasure. Right now, its current market value stands at a jaw-dropping $118,000. Yes, $118,000. A single cent reborn as a small fortune. And believe it, this is not a myth, not a rumor, not a fantasy. The market value is real, and it is rising with each passing season. Collectors across the United States are hunting for these black-layered San Francisco survivors, and every time one surfaces, it turns into a bidding battlefield. This coin doesn't just carry value, it carries fire. It's one of those rare moments where history, chemistry, and destiny converge into pure numismatic gold. And maybe that's why this coin feels so different. It's not polished perfection, it's earned beauty. It's aged with grace, it's stood the test of time, and it's emerged more stunning than ever. If you ever find a 1953 with S-Wheat penny with that blackened layer, don't clean it. Don't underestimate it. Protect it, because you might just be holding a six-figure miracle that history left behind for you to discover. And there you have it, 7 of the most ultra-rare and shockingly valuable wheat pennies in today's market. From the grey ghosts of 1944 to the black legends of 1953, every single one tells a story of time, chance, and treasure. These aren't just coins. They're living pieces of American legacy proof that sometimes the smallest things carry the biggest fortunes. So before you spend your next penny, look twice. Because you never know, the next coin in your hand might just be your ticket to history. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe to Rare Coin News USA, where we bring you fresh updates every single day, real stories, real values, and real coins that are changing lives across America. Hit that like button, drop your favorite coin in the comments, and stay tuned, because tomorrow's discovery could be your next hidden fortune.